Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Briareos Kerensky and welcome to the unboxing of R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos. This is the collection of the turn-based spin-offs of R-Type that originally came out way back on the PSP, and if I'm not mistaken, the second game never saw a Western release, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But enough of my ramblings and let's take a look at the outer box of this limited edition. On the front cover we have a rather small artwork of, I think this is the original R9 Arrowhead and this is the R13 Kerberos, if I'm not mistaken. Down below we have the title of the game, limited edition, and then the contents inside this box, starting with the game, a pin badge, a plastic model kit of an R9, and I must spoil this. This is the only reason I've bought this limited edition, and an acrylic diorama set. Unfortunately, this is a game keycard and requires 20 gigs to download on your Switch too. And on the other side, on the top, we have the technical details of this edition, and the rest is just a plain cardboard box. So let's open this. And we start off with the pin badge, the game, the acrylic diorama, some padding, and holding up like 90% of this edition, the R9 model kit. I will talk about this later when I actually go around this box, but now let's go to the game. So this being a game keycard, I don't expect it to have a manual, so this will go on rather quick. On the back we have more than 3 screenshots to describe the game, and of course you need to have Dopkeratops on R-Type screenshot. And I don't remember this part of the game, probably this is new. But let's check inside. And oh yes, at least we have some sort of artwork in the inner cover. And of course the game keycard. This is not my first game keycard, if I'm not mistaken. And it's the first time I see the key on this, but nice at least that Nintendo requires a visual reminder that you need to download the game and have this card inside the Switch to play. These game keycards truly are the worst of both worlds. But let's move on to happier fields. Pin badge, it depicts an R9 with a force device. I don't really remember if this is part of the game's iconography or not. Nice extra, nothing else to say. This is the acrylic diorama, and it features Dopkeratops, of course, a POW armor, an R9 and a force device. The most peculiar thing about this diorama set, I would say, is that there is no fixed basis, but everything has its own hexagonal plate. And that's okay. I've already expressed multiple times that acrylic dioramas are okay, but nothing more. I don't particularly enjoy them. I would say that the print quality is nice. There are plenty of details, especially on Dopkeratops. The R9 maybe is a bit overexposed. The force device has a nice light to it, colors are vibrant, and I don't see any defects on the acrylic diorama itself. And yeah, I would have taken this out and added even just a very tiny booklet with art on it, or developers details. The R-Type Delta limited edition went so far in that now I'm expecting that kind of quality for their extras. So yeah, it's here, it's fine, nothing more. And we finally are at the model kit. So on the top we see the logo of the game. There is a nice CG artwork of this special R9, and I think this comes from Granzella, and this is exclusive to the limited edition. And it's done by, also I see the Granzella logo down here, and I know the model is by Plume, a smallish, Plume, a smallish model maker that specializes in spaceships and from video games. I have a few of their kits. Of course, this one, I have the Gradius 4 from, the Vic Viper Mark IV from Gradius, the Sylphid from Sylphid, and even one of their few robot kits, the Assault Suite from Vulcan. And oh wow. So, unfortunately, the trip to Europe kind of destroyed the inner box, but I see that no parts have been damaged. And just a brief cursory look at the sprues, or runners, whichever you prefer, indicate a level of detail slightly above Plume's usual stuff. And the model is also a bit more complex than the last kit I did from them, the Vic Viper, and we have water transferable decals, nice, and the instruction manual. Let's check this. Modeling instructions, and it's in color, at least for this. And Plume as a model maker, I would say they are lower than Kotobukiya, and because they really double into spaceships mostly, and while Kotobukiya have much more, let's say, franchises to deal with. And so far, their model kits have been, let's say, if you've built the old Armored Core kits from Kotobukiya, that is the kind of quality you should expect from these kits. They are not bad, they are not snap fits, or at least not completely snap fits as Bandai's Gundam kits. And if you are an old modeler that started in the 1980s or 1990s, they will kind of remind you of low-cost kits from that era, of course with a better detail and a bit more convenient, considering that some, if not most parts, will be snap fit. I will go through the runners briefly just to check them. I will not open them. I plan to take a bit of my time to build this kit, and maybe I'll do just a follow-up video, because I also have a couple of R-Type, let's say Figma, toys, figures, whatever you want. So I will compare the overall detail of this kit to what I have. But Then again, I'm not promising anything about this because I don't know when I'll build this one. But anyway, this looks like a fun afternoon if you are not planning to paint it. Let's start out our brief look at the runners, also to check that everything is still in one piece. And I see that the connectors to the pieces are rather big compared to Kotobukiya's and Bandai's usual stuff. And again, this is to be expected from Plume. This is the basis, and there is also there is a bit of a scuff here. This looks like the cockpit transparency rendered in full plastic. Maybe this comes from another kit and this was like in another color, the support. Again, understandable. But there is a good variety of colors, and I would expect this from any injected molding. There are no warps visible. Of course, you have a bit of runner endpoints in some on some parts, but that's again completely expected. This is the bit part. Probably this is the most detail you get from that kit, at least from the print. But the bit part also shows some very fine paneling and detailing. A bunch of kits. We have this usual grey plastic, as well as some gold and purple. To be honest, not a big fan of the color scheme. And there are also two shades of red. But it will do for something found in a limited edition. And the cockpit is quite detailed, I see. There is detailed, it's quite complex. Transparency for the canopy. And lastly, the two domes that will form the force device and the bits. And before closing, very quickly, Ami pre-order bonus, a simple keychain with the logo of the game and an artwork of the R9 with its force device. If it wasn't for the plastic model kit, I would have never bought this limited edition. As I said before, game keycards for me are the worst of both worlds, and I would have bought the game digitally when it would have reached Western shores, which, if I'm not mistaken, is not too far from now. The pin is okay, the acrylic diorama is okay, the plastic model kit is the reason I bought this limited edition for, and yeah, I would have preferred, again, art and soundtrack like usual. Granzella is not the biggest of publishers, and collaborating with Plume on this limited edition is a nice thing from them. A first hour play of this game will follow soon, and I truly hope this is a multilingual release, considering that the Western release date is so close to us. But in the meantime, I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing and you'll stick around for more. Briareos Kerensky, over and out.